Good day everyone, I am Charles May Fabiar. So for today's video, I am going to do a short reflection of the 1956 USA debate. What are the roots of prejudice? What causes people to develop their prejudices against other people? These brilliant teens in the 50s discussed different issues surrounding prejudice, discrimination in an insightful high school exchange student debate in 1956. Here we have Raul Contreras from the Philippines, Yuriko Konishi from Japan, Ratnati Iskandar Dinata from Indonesia, and Judith Reader of UK engage in interesting debate. So Raul shared his definition of prejudice. When a person loses track of the dignity of the human soul and judge others not on the basis of their being persons, but on the basis of race, economic status, that is prejudice. So, in my reflection, Raul for me was definitely right. He thinks that prejudice is not just a word but a feeling of hatred. Maybe it comes from a word gesture or even physical actions. That's why he explains what prejudice can affect the life of individual. In my short overview, Contreras spoke with such brilliance and eloquence at a young age, even regarding the topic of racial prejudice, which to this day many in the world are still ignorant about. So let's proceed to Yuriko Kunishi from Japan. Well, I don't have any prejudices in the Philippines. Many of the Japanese people hate Korea because of the president of Korea mines his own line on the republic between Korea and Japan. If the Japanese fishermen go over that line and caught by a Korean people, they cannot go home and we're trying to be friends with Korean people. So in my reflection, Yuriko shared that they experienced such discrimination by Korean people. And then Korean people became worse to Japanese people, while some of the Japanese people trying to be friends with Korean people despite all of the hatred, prejudices they experienced from them. In my overview, we should learn to treat people equally for us to be treated the way we want to be treated. We should also learn to accept and respect one another. Next, Judith Reader from United Kingdom. Prejudice that I admit as soon as I met the person with red head. I was put myself on my guts. I have silly prejudice that all redhead people had a terrible temper that passionate of the color of their hair. Then I have a silly prejudice, for example, the Australian delegate Elizabeth Woodgate. She was shocked of her accent that most English people cannot. So my short reflection in the statement of her debate, she explains that how red-headed people had a terrible tempers that passionate of the color of their hair. In her part, prejudice is just a word that admires a person. She also explained how Elizabeth Woodgate appreciated her accent. Maybe there are countries that prejudice didn't exist, like for example in United Kingdom. All people out there accept everyone's traditions, color, languages, and all. So here's my short overview of Judith. Everyone should live equally. Everyone deserves peace and unity, but we cannot deny the fact that most of the countries prejudice still exists. But in United Kingdom, people have freedom. They live there without any judgment from others. Lastly, Ratnati Iskandar Dinata from Indonesia. In her own statement, prejudice is a feeling of hate of the people. It is a group or individual towards other people. Prejudice is the strongest hate for her. When they ask somebody, there is prejudice. They accidentally hate such an hate. So my reflection in this debate, Miss Ratnati Iskandar explains how prejudice in her country became crucial for her. Prejudice is a feeling of hate like discrimination. Everyone didn't deserve to be discriminated. Everyone should be respected. My short overview, Indonesia became very prone to prejudice unlike right now. Everyone there is being accepted and treated as a part of their tradition and cultures. We should learn how prejudice could affect the life of the individuals. So for me, you cannot control everything that happens to us or what other people think about us. We should learn how to ignore people that we think can destroy us or people who threaten our joy and people who think they know more about you than you do. So that's all. My video ends here. I hope you learned something from me. Once again, I am Charles May Fabiar. Thank you for watching.